Good evening. We are back with Mr. KB and our guest for this evening, the wonderful Mr. Stephen, all the way from across the pond.
Yo.
How's it going, Steve? Nice to see you again.
How are you doing?
All right, Johnny. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you guys? All right?
Oh, living the dream as always. Yeah. So, obviously, our viewers can tell by your accent you're not native from here.
I am not native from here, no. I've been here since 2006. I moved here from, it's a long drawn out story, but I moved here from Los Angeles, but via Vienna, via Tenerife, via Athens. Yeah, because the job I was doing for over 30 years, so interesting. I know. By the way, y'all, I have verbal diarrhea, so I promised them I would actually stick your head in there, you red-headed fucker. I would actually reel it in a bit. So they can ask me questions and I'll answer them because I just go off on a fucking tangent. So
I think the first question is, how did work take you from the United States via half of Europe to here?
Okay. I started with the American Chippendales in 1980. Oh my God, we're going back. 1984. All right. They were established.
I wasn't even born then.
Yeah, these fuckers weren't even born then. Look how good.
No, I was definitely.
I started with the American Chippendales. People don't know who that is. That's a male review dance troupe that was fairly new. You can watch us on Amazon or Netflix, Curse of the Chippendales or whatever, okay? I'm not going to go into great detail with that. So I started that when I was 16. You do the math. Basically traveled all over the place, stayed in Los Angeles, lived in New York. And then what they wanted to do was they wanted to travel, tour all over Europe and all that stuff. And in between that, I decided I wanted to join the military, and I was in the military, and yet I was still doing that job almost part time, because
You weren't stripping for the troops, were you?
fuck no. Even though hey y'all, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. Absolutely fuck all wrong with that. So it came to pass where traveled everywhere. I was in the military. I did serve in the Gulf War. That's, oh my God, it's over fucking 30.
Desert Storm, was it?
Yeah.
So
30 years ago.
So what was that, 1990-ish?
Oh my God, yeah. That didn't last very long. I was in Desert Shield beforehand, and I speak more than one language. I speak fluent French, fluent Spanish. I speak Greek, German. I speak my own language. I speak Native Peoples as well, because I'm Native Peoples, 7th generation, last generation Native Peoples. So
We're still struggling with one.
I'm telling you, after living here for this long, I really wish I had a British accent, because if I had a penny for every time if I open my mouth, the conversation changes, doesn't it? Oh my God, you're American, mush. What part of America are you from? And then the dynamic changes, and I'm thinking, fuck, if I had a penny for every time somebody asks me, I want to put that out there, all right? I'm not a miserable fucker, all right? I just get asked, like doing the doors, we'll get to that, but doing the doors, doing security, working at the prison, I get asked it every minute of every day. So when I'm doing that job, which is not a bad thing, but I can understand, oh my God, they hear something different. But I wish I had a British accent. But by the way, for people back home, not everybody in England speaks like Sherlock Holmes or the Queen. All right, they have regional accents, and some of them are like fucking horrible. I'm sorry. Like, all right, well, sure, gays, all right, Mate is the worst word I hate in the fucking planet. Alright, mate. Alright, mate. No, I'm not your mate. Fuck off. So, guys, please, reel me in. Ask me some questions because y'all, these guys know what I'm like. I can talk the fucking legs off a fucking camel. Alright, it's because I'm a bit outgoing, even though I'm not. I love my own company. My idea of fun now is sitting in Costa. By the way, Costa, if you want to sponsor this fucking podcast, please do, because I'm there. If I'm not at work or with my children, I'm sitting there in Commercial Road. Everybody's gonna go, fuck me, he's gonna go stalk me now. I like simple stuff. Go ahead, guys, please ask me.
So obviously you were in Desert Storm. What was that like? What was your job role?
Well, my job role initially started out as a linguist with a pew-pew, because if people don't know, it wasn't just the Americans, and it was the entire NATO fleet. So Desert Shield was there to set up the NATO fleets over in the Middle East, in the Gulf, and then Desert Storm was the actual pew-pew and all that stuff. Because I spoke all these languages, they recruited me. The Marine Corps said, right, none of us speak fucking French, none of us speak Italian, none of us speak this, so can you, be a liaison officer in that respect? But then, that was Desert Shield. In Desert Storm, I had to pick up a pew-pew and basically go fight. I was on, by the way, if you want context, I was on the USS Ferris, all right? You can actually see pictures of that. We were shot at and everything, man. The phalanx system in the back. Anyways, and that was the longest deployment I had, because I was actually local on the base. So after work, I would go to the other work. I would go to the other work and do that because I thought it was really fun. There's a story behind that. Right. So in the military, we used to go over here, or in the Chippendales, we used to travel everywhere. And I used to take a lot of leave, so they used to bring us over here. After Desert Storm, two things happened, which is really strange. I wanted out of the military. I wanted out. Everybody wanted fuck this, fuck George Bush, fuck Pierre Trudeau or whoever the fuck his name is. So I was asked to do the American Embassy in London to do my sign out, it's called. You do your sign out for so long. At that point, there was shit going on with the Chippendales. Guys, I can't go into too much of it for legal reasons. I still look, Caroline, if you ever get this in New York, I still got your number, girl. I still look good enough, even at 56, if you want to recruit me for the Chippendales again. No, I'm joking.
Oh, well, let's get him in. Let's make it happen.
No.
Chippendales,
retired. At that time, there was a lot of political stuff going on within that Chippendale group. There was money laundering, IRS, hired, fucking Steve Patel hired someone to kill the other guy that was going on tour with us.
Just to briefly interrupt you. So the IRS is basically the American equivalent of HMRC.
Yeah, but they'll take everything. So yeah, the IRS were after them. So they said to me, I had a meeting with them, and they said, oh, by the way, Shuey, we can't afford to ship you guys out to Europe anymore. Do you want to live in England? And I'm thinking, hang on, this is really strange. Honestly, guys, you can't make this shit up. So I said, actually, I've been asked if I could do my out at the American Embassy in London. And I said, yeah. So they said, okay, we'll set you up, blah, blah, blah. I moved to London, I lasted a week. I shit you not. So this is how I got to Portsmouth. I used to commute every day, right? I didn't realize how long it was, how far it was or anything, but it doesn't matter.
Standard Americans.
Yeah. Fuck, I thought it was a short distance on the map,
Yeah,
but it
yeah,
is
it
quite
looks
long after a while.
Yeah, it's a bit
So
further than a kilometre.
yeah, so I did that. I did the American Embassy. I did my out, and then I stayed in the UK. And by the way, it is. Can I actually say this on the? Right. It's always a woman. All right. It is. It's always a woman. Yeah. That's one of. Yeah. It's always a woman while you stay. All right. So I thought to myself, right, what are we gonna do? We'll set up the ship. We'll set up the British Chippendales here. And then I met this girl, and then I stayed, and then I met another one, and another one, and you know. But then I was offered to stay in Vienna. I was offered to stay in Vienna, and I eventually stayed for almost 2 years, like a central point. And we worked in a club every night called The Big Apple. And the guy who owned it was Mr. You didn't call him his first name, Mr. Titsa, right? And this fucking proper gangster Russian, yeah, beautiful place. It was in, if you Google it, it's called The Big Apple or Die Big Apple, and it's in Seilerstrasse, which is in the center of Vienna. So they go in districts 1, 2, 3, 4, and they go all the way up to 20. Right, this is a very posh area, and we used to work from, 10 at night till 6 in the morning, just dancing and drinking and lap dancing for women and all this stuff. It was a lot of fun. I did that for almost 2 years. Then I used to tour everywhere here, Tenerife. I've been to every major country that allows that kind of job. And right, context why we're getting back to security is because if I wasn't doing that, I didn't know anybody here, wanted to be a bit sociable. So I was approached, these guys are a bit young, but do y'all remember the council badge you used to get?
Yeah, I've heard many stories of these.
It was like £10.
badges.
You go to your local somebody.
In your own county, wasn't it? You had to apply for another badge.
Yeah, somewhere else.
We were on the
But
council
this,
badge when we started.
where's
No,
that
no.
thing? Where's that thing?
Oh yeah, yes.
That's way before this fucking money grabbing dog shit. All right, it is. It's dog shit. All right, it's just a money grab. Came out, and basically you paid £5-10 at your local council. You went in, and they, for example, and they wouldn't even question you. Are you a mass murderer? Yes. All right, give me £10, and then you can have this badge for any local. And I did that like 98, 90, like 2000. Do you know what I mean? Like not all the time. I work with people like Simon Clark, Love Aside, oh my God. There used to be a lot of bars, like Time and Envy and Bar Blue on the seafront in Portsmouth. That's when it was really good. I used to go, if I was in London, I used to go do a show in London and then come back. Guys, we're going on like many, many years ago. I will get to the present day. So I used to go do a show, like ruck up at like back in Portsmouth at 11 o'clock at night. And then I think to myself, well, fuck, I don't know anybody here, really. I'll earn a bit of extra money, work on the door, get drunk, and do whatever. Do you know what I mean? I don't know when this industry changed.
2003 was it?
No, wait, is it?
I'm trying to think. I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
It was about that when things ended up changing.
Well, 2003.
Yeah.
It's got to be
Or was it?
further than that, because I was how it swapped from this when it swapped from one of those badges to this. I believe it was two guys in Bournemouth that wanted to create an organization that would control doormen, and take away the meatheads and the, you know, people that have been in prison and regulate it. I think it was only 2 guys, and I didn't have to pay for that badge. When I found out about it, I gave him a call in Bournemouth, and I went, I think the first guy was named Mark or something. I said, hi, Mark, it's Steve. Oh, hi, Steve, how are you, blah, blah, blah. We're starting an organization where the SIA, as it is now, it's not the same. Would you like to have a badge for basically free? So that's how that came about, and I'm being truthful. That's how that came about. Yeah, it's a funny old industry now.
It is a bit bad.
Yeah.
But without going on sort of a slight tangent, so obviously that's how you got into the
Security side
world.
of it, yes.
So you come over from the United States,
Yeah.
with the Chippendales and the obviously US military. You finish your time with the US military, you carry on doing shows, get a bit bored, want a bit of money, so you start doing doors. So that's all going along nicely. And then you start working at Her Majesty's Hotels, or His Majesty's.
Oh my God, that's still long away. I mean, I worked in Guildhall in Portsmouth. That was really rough. I remember the night where at Walkabout where that Marine was killed with that one punch.
Yeah.
I remember that very well.
That's going back a while.
Yeah, we were at, I think I was at Club 8 across the road, and it just went off on the 4th of July.
This Walkabout is where Sainsbury's is now.
Yeah. A lot of good doors. I think a double-edged sword for this SIA is the fact. I'm not slagging it off. It's just really a money grab. In the respect that we lost a lot of good door staff because they did have, like, they had a conviction for blah blah, right? And they couldn't get a badge because they had a criminal record, but they were on the straight and narrow. They
weren't a threat to society.
You know, not everybody's squeaky clean in life, man.
Everyone's got positives.
Oh fuck yeah! I've only been with Her Majesty's Prison Service since 2019, which is COVID, but we'll get to that. I just got tired of the doors. I got tired of it. It's a funny old industry. I actually quite enjoy it. I enjoy working with people that, like, I'm going to put his name out there, don't hate me. I like people working with people like Dean Hayden.
We do a bit.
I like these guys. I don't get involved in anybody's personal shit. I like Marcel Colors. I like him. I like his business. I have no issues with the guy. And Pat, my Pat from PPE, Pat, love you. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Pat.
Happy birthday, Pat. You know, there isn't too many people in this industry anymore that you can actually count on. Like, it's pretty bad. And I'm not the best fucking doorman in the world, far from it. But it's pretty bad when I turn up at a door. I'm not talking to you guys, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking to you. When you turn up at a door and you get another guy and they think, oh, Shoey's here, I don't have to fucking do anything, right? Because he'll handle all that other crap, right? Which it shouldn't be. We should be a team. Yeah? This is where that fucking badge is shit.
I mean, you've had it a few times in the past where you've rocked up at venues and sort of head doors expect you to do the head door role and not, you know, or expect you to do everything rather than delegation.
Yeah.
Oh, the look on their faces when I fucking turn up. And I'm not saying what's the one good thing I'm good at, Josh? One.
Communication.
No. What's the one? Drugs. I'm the fucking, ask anybody in this industry if I can say one good thing that I'm actually good at is finding fucking drugs without a drug dog. I can't stand them. As I sniff. But I'm having surgery for that finally. By the way, I'm having all the, deviated septum. So I'm having surgery for that. But I cannot fucking stand drugs, especially nowadays. Now, back when I was doing drugs, and I've been 25 years clean now, I never had a problem with alcohol, is that drugs in the 80s were real. Now, when we do a swab, like especially in the prison, like we get fucking spice, we get, you know, it's oh my God, we get 5%, like for example, spice or cocaine, 5% and 95% rat poison, diesel fuel, paracetamol, fucking, you know. And when I used to do a toot, when you used to do toot in the 80s and the early 90s, I'm telling you, it lasted all fucking night. Now these guys are going to the washroom, you know, 5 times a night for an old toot. Fucking shit. But yeah, I don't like drugs. I can't stand them. And I'd like to think with this industry, I make a positive commitment to try and keep it out of the bars and clubs. You'll never keep it completely out.
No,
Is that right,
never.
guys?
Yeah, it's 100%.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I find that it's part of, like, without it sounding like it, it's part of everyday life now.
Yeah.
You know, everyone, not everyone, but certain percentage of people are doing it.
Yeah. I think for the people that are not doing it, they'll be surprised in the type of people that are doing it.
Yeah.
I think that illusion of it's your addicts and things like that. No, it's
Nice.
doctors, lawyers, nurses, any walks of life.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's surprising.
And me thinking about it now, right? Who goes into a scabby ass fucking John, right, and sniffs it off the back of the, oh my god.
Yeah.
You know, I've caught them. We've caught them. All of us have, guys. All of us have caught someone in the toilet sniffing it off the
toilet.
Yeah.
off not the toilet seat, but the toilet top. What do you call that?
The top of the toilet where the change.
Or on top of the silver
Cistern.
the cistern. Yeah. But do it at home, then come out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's, we obviously, the job that me and Johnny are doing at the moment, we come across it
All the time.
All the time. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's not a good, like you alluded on earlier, you don't know what you're taking. Now, I know in Holland and a couple of Scandinavian countries now, which I think is something we should look at, is that festivals where there's a big problem. And again, you're never going to stop it coming into a festival.
No.
You can actually go and get your drugs tested.
That's a great
like what
idea.
you say, so basically they're actually, we're never going to stop it.
Yes, sir.
So rather than people sniffing, like you say, the rat poison and the battery acid and God knows what else, at least they know what they're taking.
Yeah.
So if it is all this concoction of horrendous stuff, then we can warn people.
For all you druggies out there, there's a all you fucking druggies out there. Go
We
watch,
all know a few.
Go watch that Gordon Ramsay, right? Do you remember? Like Gordon Ramsay did that fucking program in Colombia where he went out in the middle of nowhere and he was disgusted about, they were mixing it with diesel fuel and shit. Yeah, and turpentine and shit.
Yeah.
And his face just went like that, right?
Yeah.
That's an eye opener for you. Because that's what's in your fucking drugs nowadays. Yeah? When before it was almost like, cocaine was almost like China White. It was almost like 100% pure. If it was 100%, you'd be dead. But you get what I'm saying. It's not 5%. It used to be 90% and 5%. Now it's 5% and 90%. Yeah.
And the issue is, like you, again, what we've touched on, the 90% is just shit, basically.
It's fucking shit, yeah. Absolutely. Right.
So now we've got to the point where you do security. What do you do as you work toward the prisons and that gap to 2019?
Well, I got asked by somebody to do the year's course down at Braz Norton in Oxford. It's around the military base.
Yeah.
Then lockdown happened, didn't it?
Yeah.
So, because of my previous qualifications, I'm not picking myself up. Most of the prison officers now, they're recruited straight out of university. They're 19, 20 years old kids, right? And they're about as green as you can get.
Oh, yeah.
Now, when you go on a wing and you have somebody that's in their late 40s or 50s and they're doing a 20-year stint, do you think they're going to fucking listen to a 19, 20-year-old kid that knows nothing?
Yeah.
You know, no situational awareness. You know, they just come out of university, did the year's course. So what I did was I did the course in-house, right? I did all the course and they condensed it all the way down to like 6 months. So I was on the job training and going to work, doing my shifts. I have not been there for way over a year. I'll get to that. These two guys know. I had a form of cancer called polycythemia vera, which is, it's kind of like a blood and bone cancer. And they've directly linked it. See, everything goes in.
Yeah,
Genes and entwined.
Yeah.
I'll give you a context, guys. Okay, I was a pro bodybuilder as well for 30 years. I was top IFBB pro, and I used to smash the steroids. And I mean, I smashed the shit out of them.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, you can't be in that industry and not. I mean, you guys can go back and see previous pictures, but I had a conversation with somebody about this. They said, Steve, do you think it's linked, your polycythemia vera is linked to all the steroids that you've taken? And I said, I believe it is now. So I've been getting treatment for that since June 23, off and on. Because I need to have, what polycythemia vera does is it raises your hemoglobin levels, which triggers a certain cancer cell. So I've lost, I tried to measure it out in stone for y'all. All right, by the way, stone is like an old fashioned fucking way you weigh yourself. So context, when I was a pro bodybuilder, even around 2000, I was 270 pounds, which is 19 stone 2. I'm not gonna get my phone out. And now I am 16 stone 1, which is 210 pounds, I think. So I've lost almost 60 pounds, but I feel better. So I've been going in for treatment once a week. So what they do is they take a venesection, which means they have to take out so much blood. It's like bloodletting. It's like, and then I get a little bit of that yellowy stuff that looks like snot, which is chemo. That was every single Thursday. And I've been avoiding it, but I've been pretty much free of that shit for the last 7 weeks. So I've been clear of it for the last 7 weeks, which I'm quite happy about. I feel better.
So we're all happy for you.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
no, fucking.
Speak for half in most of the industry, man.
Dude, it's exhausting, right? Fucking having chemo, it doesn't mean you lose your hair and shit, like other fucking places, like chemo feet. But I don't wear shoes anyways when I'm not like at an event like this. You know, I always wear flip flops and stuff because my feet kill me. But no, I feel better. I've been avoiding, and I went 3 times. My Claire's been going, Steve, go. So I have been avoiding my blood tests because I thought, oh God, if I have it, I have to go back in for chemo again for the last 3 weeks. So I went in for the blood tests on Monday. No, that's Friday, and then I get the results again for the all clear this Friday. So yeah, it's not fun, but
So
and I really want to go back to work, guys.
We're all wishing you well for
Thank
that.
you, I appreciate it.
For the
Thank
results,
you.
100%.
Thank you. And by the way, guys, follow these guys. It's a nice little podcast. I am actually really nervous, believe it or not. People are gonna go, what? Yeah, I'm fucking nervous because that's why I have verbal diarrhea, because I get bad anxiety. But doing the prison service is a bit different than like working on a door or
Like, obviously, we
a
can only
festival.
imagine what it's like.
A festival because it's regimented.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And everyone there is there for a reason.
Yeah.
they're there for a reason,
Yeah.
right? You know what they've done by looking in their act. It's a red book, and I can't, right? But we command. Oh God, Governor Borgel always says to us, "Oh, we want to reform these people." You'll fucking never reform these people. And he says the reason why we're what's the word I'm looking for? The reason why they are doing these things because they don't have a regiment in their life. They don't have a normal routine. Wake up, eat, work, shower, lock up by 7 o'clock. So they're unlocked from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. Everybody. Okay? Unless they've been a really bad boy and they're down in seg, which is segregation.
Yeah.
Which is, what do we call it back home? We call it,
something confinement.
Solitary
Yeah, that's
confinement.
it.
That's not all right. They're not solitary confinement. They're in solitary confinement cells. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're down in B wing, and yeah. So and there's one guy that runs that downstairs. But it's not like working on a door or working on a festival is a completely different animal because it's not regimented. We do have rules on doors, like you can't wear, just silly rules, right?
Normal rules at any workplace will have.
Yeah. Any health and safety and all that shit. But that's the unknown.
And I think being in a prison, you're locked in with them for 12, 13-hour shift, and we're doing the doors. You have that freedom,
Guys,
as well.
True story, and I'm sure everybody think about this, right? I've never been to a Victorian prison before. Okay, that prison is from 1860, yeah, and it still looks like it's from fucking 1860. So when I first did my tour and I got taken on my rounds, when they shut that big door, like you go in reception, you can't have your vape, you can't have your keys, you can't have your phone. That goes in the lockup. And then you go through, and when they shut that door behind you with the keys, fuck me, that was an eye opener.
Yeah.
Because you're banged up with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And there's about 200 staff. You don't know one from the other really. You only know your general wing and stuff like that when you're doing escorts and stuff like that. That was a fucking eye opener for me. And I don't believe in ghosts, but that fucking place at night is the creepiest fucking place I've ever been in my life. Because it's at 7 o'clock, lock up. We do lights out at just before 10 o'clock, meds at 10, lights out, and I'm telling you, this place it's Victorian. There's no heating in there. It's done through like a giant draft excluder thingy in the middle.
Yeah.
And
Hot air.
Blow air, yeah. And, freak the fuck out. Because in C, on the ones, I think it was 12 and 13, that's where they used to hang them.
Yeah.
So 12, they used to put them in there, in the gallows, like in there for the night. And then there used to be like a little ladder to 13, and they used to go, whoop, and then they used to, when they were hung, there's used to go outside, they open up this gate, and then there's a giant white thing, which is like an incinerator. Right, okay, they used to incinerate them and then bury them around the back. Yeah. Fuck me. Creepy as shit at night. And you see the rats running around and everything, man. Fuck me.
Going back to your H&P, so obviously you joined in 2019. Now we've all got our COVID stories, so to speak. What was the prison like during COVID? I mean, I imagine it was tough.
I think it was a bit over the top, as we all know and respect that. We only had less than a handful of cases.
Yeah.
But the amount of PPE was ridiculous. Like if somebody fucking sneezed, you'd have to dress in full fucking, I'm talking like, what's that movie with Dustin Hoffman? Where he's like the monkey and he has to dress up in the full fucking infection. It was that bad. Full PPE, face visors. I think I sneezed once at the gate, and then Governor Sturton went, "Shuey, you're going home for 2 weeks." I went, "What? I just fucking sneezed. I sneezed." Yeah.
They spray you with Dettol.
But the amount of waste, because like we'd have to put it in yellow bags. We at reception area where they check in, everybody had to wear fucking top to bottom like visors and full fucking white geared boot, tape it up and everything. For a guy that doesn't have it, they weren't allowed to go to work, so they were just just basically, well, they had to go to work, they had to do laundry and food and stuff like that, but no gym, no privileges, no gym, that fucked them off.
And
I can
probably
imagine the proper. Did you have a lot of spike confrontation?
A
I
bit.
can imagine you used to try people's patience because you couldn't have visitors as well.
No visitors.
That probably played on like the prisoners' mental health.
They did, and their mental health was
Probably
affected.
suffered quite a bit.
Yeah, a lot. We don't take it in the UK. There's not enough. Well, I think everywhere now. There's not enough facilities for people that have severe mental health issues, and we had a lot of people in that were fine. They committed a crime, but they were in their own capacity,
Well, this
mental
is a
capacity.
conversation we'll have, you know.
Yeah.
Things like what we do and what the police do. The police do their best, you know, but they're not mental health trained. Not to a degree of a qualification. You know, they might have a bit of training across their basic training, so to speak.
The thing is about you come, you know, going back to our job, you end up dealing with mental health cases every single day.
You do, yes.
And you know, we know from doing other lines of work that we know through our training that how to handle a situation. But I don't think the SIA cover like training when it
They
comes to mental
don't know,
health.
and we're lucky because, well, I'm lucky because I am very open about it. I have severe depression and anxiety. I have done for many, many years. I am medicated for it, so crazy knows crazy, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's all about, if somebody could nail, like Phil Carr or somebody like that, could nail a course where they only teach situational awareness, only teach what's here, what's there, what's in front of you. All right, somebody might not be drunk, somebody might have Down syndrome or cerebral palsy, or somebody might be, you know, autistic. You don't know. They're not fucking pissed. I've seen people drag fucking people out of bars. They haven't had one drink. They're autistic. Yeah? You should be able to pick that up.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah? Just the bare minimum.
We get that quite a lot with our job. We'll get a shop or someone saying, oh, I see one or I see two male, suspicious. We go there and it's just, like you say, someone that's maybe autistic, might like a certain thing, or has sensory overload, and it's nothing suspicious at all. It's just about that person.
Just,
up.
the SIA is just a money grab. They should teach fucking common sense.
Life skills.
Life skills.
Yeah. I think that's why a lot of your good doormen, security operators, are people who have come from a different background like yourself, and like, you know, you were a chef, you were in the military, Chippendales, and God knows what else as well. But where you've got amalgamation of life experience, we've met so many different people, so many different walks of life.
Yeah.
We can then use that in our, you know, in what
That's
we call
actually,
Yeah.
And I think it's the same with the police. When you meet police officers that haven't, you know, they've done like other jobs before they become police officers, they make better officers.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they can build that rapport.
Yeah.
Exactly, and they've had the life skills where they can deal with the situations that's put in front of them. And at the end of the day, everything's stretched.
Yeah.
Everything, you know, the NHS is stretched, the police is stretched, everything.
Prisons are
prisons.
Jesus Christ, they're throwing people out because they don't have the room. If you have a prison that's the capacity is, let's say, I'll give a number, I'm not going to give an actual number, 325 in capacity, because it's an old prison. It's not like the fucking shitty G4S private ones that they have now, where they look like they're living in Shangri-La. But you have 500 prisoners there. They don't have the room. Yeah. I say, and I'm going back, I fucking hate drugs. I hate it. But if it was done properly, to solve the economic problems in the UK with the NHS, with the police, with doctors, nurses, legalize marijuana, tax it, what's tax here?
20%.
Yeah, I should know that, 20%, which is fucking high. Because tax back in California, for example, is 3%.
And that's one of the highest tax in states, I believe,
Yeah, it's one of the highest, but
isn't it?
you know, you get state and federal tax, and you know, Canadians, they get a certain
But I guess the
GSP or GST.
the attitude to that is no universal free healthcare, so I guess it swings around that.
Yeah, it does. Well, if they legalize marijuana, tax the fucking shit out of it at 30%. Yeah, regulate it, tax it at 30%. The fucking the NHS would be paid off in a couple of years.
What about cigarettes? And the cigarettes is a 20% tax. I think it's a higher rate of tax. So you, like you say, you can do the same with cannabis. But I believe it was Portugal as well. Portugal had a big narcotic problem. So they legalised pretty much everything, but you had to go to specific centres. So like the hardcore drugs.
I don't think a lot of those places are working. Like if you look at Los Angeles now, if you look at places like Vancouver, Canada, where they've legalized absolutely fucking everything, and they have made a massive mistake because people are doing trank in the streets. It looks like a fucking zombie zone.
Well, this is
I'm just saying legalize marijuana, tax the shit out of it. It goes back into, not with corrupt I'm not political or any of that crap. It's actually, it's in a separate fund. It goes to the NHS, and then it pays that off so people get better medical care. A bad thing is going back into a good thing.
And you hopefully removing, not all of them, but a lot of the gangs that are selling it, growing it.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of, you know, I'm not talking about the people that are doing it, and even like your low level dealers, even some of them probably aren't bad people. But when you go to the top, those are when all
They're so
the
fucking bad. Yeah. Eliminate the fucking dickheads.
You know, if you look at a lot of shootings and knife crime in London and suburbia now, and a lot of it stems from drugs.
Oh, absolutely.
Drugs.
Absolutely.
So if you can remove that, or even remove a part of that, all that into place will drop as well.
As much as I hate drugs, I think, like if I caught somebody with a dime bag of fucking weed on them, like I'll take it from them, but I'm not gonna fucking, you know, I'm gonna.
How many, you know, if you like look at the last 5 years at festivals, how many times now have we watched a festival? If they're smoking cannabis or they got cannabis on them, just leave it.
Yeah.
How many times have we got that brief?
You'll never, ever, ever, folks, just marijuana, you'll never, ever, ever see it kick off if somebody's fucking stoned.
That's true. Yeah.
Never. It's the best thing ever. Get fucking stoned and have a good time.
It just makes the food wagon prices go up.
The food.
Dude, I'm so fucking hungry.
Yeah, just...
£15 for a fucking plate of fries. All right then. I know this is supposed to be fun and all that stuff, but I don't know. It's just, I've got a lot of funny stories, but I don't. You get to a certain age where, and I never thought I would say this, you get to a certain age where, like, you guys know what I'm like when I'm on a door or anything. I'm fucking bubbly, I'm chatty, you know, stuff like that, but I'm not like that in real life. I'm very, very laid back. I like my own company.
I don't think that's unique. There's a lot of famous stars that, though Robbie Williams is a prime example, like you're watching him stage, he's very out there, he's very, you know, self-aware, self-confident, but he has massive stage fright. You know, if you watch the documentary about it, like, you know, that who he is on the stage isn't him, you know, isn't his persona.
I'll give an example of that, a really good example. Like as an entertainer like that, like a Magic Mike sort of shit, right? I fucking crap myself. I would literally crap myself. I've got such bad stage fright and anxiety. But let's use an example, all right? I'm gonna put it out there. I want you people to visualize Ozzy Osbourne, all right, when he's off stage. Yeah, he's a really old man like that now, you know. Put him in front of a fucking microphone. Completely different. Yeah. Now, a lot of the times when you see me on the doors, I'm doing that. Yeah, I'm also aware of what's going on, but especially like huge venues if I'm working the pit, but deep inside I'm like, fuck me, I'm fucking shitting myself. You know what I'm saying? But you put on that facade, not the hard facade, but you put on a facade, like a really friendly over the top facade until you're fucking paid not to. And I hate putting my hands on people now. Yeah. Even I've had a chat with Dean, Simon, all these old school doormen. Don't want to fucking roll around the ground and fight and fucking have to get somebody out with a knife.
I agree with you. Yeah. You know, at the end of the day, if you have a quiet night, it's a good night.
Boring's good stuff.
Yeah, it
and
is.
I say, I get paid the same amount of money if I walk someone out the door, shake their hand, even if they're particular.
Absolutely.
Send them on their way, or if I'm rolling around on the floor. If I'm rolling around on the floor with someone, or you or whoever, who doesn't matter who you are, the risk factor goes up for you then and them.
But this is it. It's like when we done our podcast last week. You know, I brought into the conversation about there's duty of care, and the duty of care.
Those are 3 magic words. Any motherfucker, right? Any motherfucker that comes at you says, wait, all I look at them and say, duty of care. Yeah? That negates anything else. Now, we have a duty of care to the staff because they're not there to take fucking shit and abuse. We have duty of care to the customers, right? And then ourselves. Those 3 words will cover you, I would say 80% of the time.
Even in prisons, obviously, you still have, no matter what they've done,
you've still got a duty of care for every person.
They're fucking banged up there for a reason. Not a lot. Some of the times I don't agree with some of the ones that they've been banged up because they didn't pay their council tax. And people are gonna go, oh, it costs fucking more money to keep them in jail than it does for them to pay the fact that they didn't pay their council tax. Because I've spoken to a few people. Oh, Gov, I said, what are you here for? Like down in D, right? That's where they put all like, I paid my TV license, I paid my council tax, shit like that, just general shit like that, right? Very low level, right? Just an example, okay? And they say, oh, Gov, I haven't paid my council tax. I'm struggling with this. And I'm thinking, how much do you owe? Like, hypothetically, I owe £1,500. Well, it fucking cost you banged up for 6 months. It costs more to keep them in there.
But this is what I want to get at. Now, you know, the government ended up releasing all these prisoners early.
Yes, sir.
Now, my opinion of it, yes, the prisons are overcrowded, but they're releasing these prisoners early. What do they expect them? What they're going to do? They're all going to like come out and behave themselves.
No,
they're not. You know,
we have instances. Yes, sir. We have instances, right? Especially a lot of homeless people in the wintertime. They'll go and steal a bunch of shit, and they will wait for the police. They will get banged up in prison because they've got 3 meals a day and somewhere warm to sleep.
Well,
and then when we let them out, we let them out, give them out papers. All right, Gov. Oh, how are you? I'm fine. I'll see you in a couple of days, Gov. All right, then. They'll just go back out and fucking do it again.
Funny you should say that. We had someone come up to us and say, "Oh, will I go to prison for did this? If I go to prison for do that?" And it's the exact same what you say, because they know it's first of all it's the I can't say the word, but being institutionalised, so there's that element to it.
Yes, sir.
Then there's the fact that they get a bed, they get relatively hot,
they get hot meals,
so they know they're going to eat, they know they're going to sleep, and I'm not saying prison's a safe place per se, but for some people it's safer than the streets.
It's a lot safer than like it depends on where you are. If it's Wandsworth, Pentonville, Broadmoor, it depends on which prison you are. I was in a remand prison, so, but we couldn't remand a lot of the people because they're just too full. We couldn't send them off to hither dither. I want to say this, all right? I want to say this, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I've had a fucking good life, man. The amount of stuff I've done, and I'm not bragging about it, and then I'm just, once you get this part of your life, you start reflecting on this part of your life. Yeah, I never thought this would happen, but I say this with a smile on my face. I've had a fucking good life, man. I've done loads of partying. I mean, when people in this country, this is what I didn't understand. When people in this country think of a professional male dancer or stripper, they think some cheesy ass fucker in a pub.
Yeah.
You know, getting a stick out. You know, and cheesy. Yeah. No, that wasn't. I did do that, mind you, but like I was doing venues in Helsinki with 10,000 people in the audience, women in the audience. You know, we did.
So talking West End, broad.
Kind of, yeah. We did. That's how. Yeah. But exactly like that. You know, and when we started in Santa Monica, the Chippendales, Steve Patel, he was an Indian guy, very shy, but that club, it's way down the fucking 5-5 block. If y'all know it, it's kind of still there, but he started a backgammon club. That was a fucking backgammon club, yeah? And somebody came in and said, this is a great venue, why don't you start doing this? And they helped him start that. And one side of it was the Chippendale side, right? And I swear to God, guys, I can show you pictures. I look older there when I was 16 than I do now. I had a full hairy chest. They wanted you to look older because you have to be 18 plus to be a dancer. And I didn't have any ID or anything. So anyways, and then he split then next door, you could go upstairs and you could play backgammon. I'm like, what? And with the Chippendales, nobody else was doing this. Nobody else was doing this on the planet. So the police used to come in all the time and try and arrest us and everything. I used to go hide in the beer fridge because I was underage. I was 16 years old. Yeah, 16. Had a lot of fun doing that.
So you kept getting raided by the LAPD then?
Oh my God, all the time. All the time. And I used to go hide in the beer fridge. But I've had a really good life, guys. And to get to this point, and I'm going to mention, I've got two wonderful children. They're 13 and 6. I'm no longer with their mother, Laura. But she's fucking awesome. Like at my age now, I never thought I would have children, and I'm only in the. It sounds like a negative. I'll be straight with y'all. I fucking hate it here. Like you see in my posts on the thing, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here, even for a few weeks. Yeah. Like go do something or go somewhere or work some. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I fucking hate it here. The perspective is bad. The grass is not greener on the other side. I will not leave this country because of my boys. Yeah. I won't leave. I love them more than fucking anything. And I never thought I could love another human being like I do those two boys. And I'll be straight with y'all. If I didn't have children and like Laura and I split up, I would have been on the first flight out of here.
Yeah, it does make you think about how your life would have changed, doesn't it?
Well, I'll tell you.
To get to this point, everything had to happen. The good, the bad, the ugly, the fucking wonderful. Everything had to happen like that to get to this point.
I remember my English teacher, who was also my head of year, Mr. Garner. And I remember one thing that stuck with me that he taught me, we were taught in English and we're talking about movies. Yeah. Right? In every single, movies, TV shows, and probably even in books, there's something called a pitch point. Yeah. And that is where the movie changes. It's normally within the first 10 to 15 minutes. So for the big example is Titanic, right? Yeah. Even though I know that he actually sinks, but the pitch point of that movie is when he wins the tickets. Yeah. And it's a tiny thing that you won't notice. I don't know if you watch SWAT, are you familiar? Yeah. So SWAT, episode 1 of the series, episode 1. the commander shoots a kid by accident.
Yep.
He then gets rejected. He gets booted off, and then a new guy comes in. That's the pinch point because then the series is basically.
That's actually a good. And by the way, I'm going to use that because I am a humongous movie fan. I'll watch movies coming out of my
Every single film now I've watched, I've had that in my mind.
Pinch point.
Yeah,
Is that pinch point?
But
That's good, guys.
The point of the story is you have these in life as well. Where you've made a decision to do this or that, or you've fallen into something. So, for example, and I think it's probably true for over half the industry, no one decides to do security full time. It's normally like yourself being a chef, like yourself doing Chippendales.
Yeah.
I was doing bits and bobs myself. You get your badge, it's for, you want to be a bit more social, you want extra money, a lot of people don't want to go out drinking, but they want to.
Do you know, guys? I'll interrupt you for a second. That's a very good point because when I first got here, I didn't fucking know anybody, right? So I was touring with all these guys. We were fucking partying and this, that, and the other, and I was genuinely, even though I have bad anxiety from day dot, I was genuinely lonely.
Yeah.
So I would come back from a huge show wherever we were, and it's really weird, and ask some of the Dream Boys as well. If I had a show in, where's the place? Blackpool, at that place, that huge place, Blackpool Pier. Yeah, the pier. We would be put up in hotels. Drive straight back to Portsmouth. If it took 5 hours.
That's good.
Then it would be Liverpool. I would do this. I'm very fucking strange like that. Very fucking strange. Yeah.
See, I'm the opposite to you. I love anything that involves travelling and staying away. Like here, like.
Oh, I like that, but I don't know why it was like the biggest. Being on a stage, whatever stage you're doing, I don't care if you're doing a little fucking pantomime or you're in a local bar and you're a singer in a local bar. You get a certain adrenaline kick from that. And when that gig or whatever happens, you're just fucking like, woo, completely deflated. Yeah. So I used to drive home and I used to drive back.
I guess it's like an anticlimax.
Yeah. And I used to go, I'm fucking lonely. I'm not going to sit at home. I don't know anybody, right? So I used to go and do the doors with that little, that's how I got the little council badge and stuff like that. I'm going to put this out there, and hopefully you see it. Mr. Jamie Weir, all right? Mr. Matt Weir, okay? Jamie Weir I used to look up to. Like, he was like a fucking, like, the fucking superstar, all-star fucking doorman on the fucking planet. Then he got fucking racial, but that's beside the point. Bro, like, there's doormen I used to look up to. Fuck, wow, man, I want to come and do this job because of this guy's the shit. You know what I'm saying? He is the shit. That's another thing, by the by. But I was genuinely lonely, and we would only go out maybe 3 nights a week touring. But when we were away for like a week, and then fly back, and then go do this, go do that, go do the casino rooms in Rochester. That's a huge place. Or like big clubs, but the come down was horrible. So that's how come I started. I thought, God, I don't know anybody here. Yeah, I'm fucking genuinely lonely. I want to be around. I don't want to be around people, but I want to be around people. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I know it's hard for people to understand. I'm sure people, hopefully.
I think people that have that feeling, because sometimes I've had that where I don't want to particularly talk to anyone, but I want to be in the moment around people. So
yes.
Yeah.
So
What's that thing, Leonardo DiCaprio? That he hit the nail on the head.
So
yes.
I'd like to have an example where I used to went through a bad breakup. It is what it is. We'll get on with that particular person now. Anyway, so I used to go to a local bar in Charlton, where I was living at the time, and I was really friendly with one of the bar staff, and we are very close friends to this day. And she's one of my closest friends actually. But I would just sit at the end of the bar, have a conversation with her, but just ignore the world around me. But I was still amongst people, and obviously you talk about being from Los Angeles, it sounds so bizarre. The only place I've been where I've actually felt at home, felt it's a bit of me, was when I was in LA. And that wasn't even a planned trip, it was a work thing when I was with the Merchant Navy. We went to Long Beach, we were there for a few days.
But it's not the same anymore, Josh. I mean, people look at me and they glamorize it because of television. I want y'all to take it in perspective.
But I will say this, LA isn't just Hollywood. Like
East LA, by the way, well, Big Mexico, East LA, Little Mexico. I love going there now. It's clean. They look after their own. I ain't worried about gangbangers getting shot there. It's downtown Los Angeles. It's West Hollywood where I used to hang out in the West Hollywood in the 90s. The 80s and 90s.
West Hollywood was where the riots were, if I'm correct, was it?
Yeah, back in
the early 80s?
Yes. But that's by the by. But now you go there and the streets are littered. West Hollywood's now littered with fucking shit and drug needles and homeless people. There's thousands of them.
That's the biggest thing that's...
Stop glamorizing fucking cities.
Santa Monica, on the other hand, that is nice.
That's what?
Santa Monica. That's where that is nice. Well, I like it anyway.
It's still. Do you know the beach is covered with homeless people? Covered.
I think no matter where you go in the world, you're always going to have a bad area.
The
It
thing
doesn't
is-
matter
The
where
thing
it
is with
is,
the thing is with LA, I think a lot of the reason why it does attract the homeless is because of the climate.
Kind of climate, absolutely.
And also there's fruit that grows on trees and things like that. And there's this false sense of is LA, anything can happen. So if you're living in Michigan or somewhere cold, you're going to go, well, let's go to LA because one, it's warmer, two, there's a chance I'm going to get, maybe not in a movie, but it's LA, something might happen. Now, obviously, for 90% of the people, or probably 98% of the people, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But
there's a true story. Alaska, the state of Alaska, now they've been doing it the last few years. They have a zero policy for homeless people. Now, Alaska does get very, very, very cold.
Yeah.
Okay. So what the Alaskan government, the federal government, right, the local government's been doing is taking these homeless people, banging them up, putting them on flights to Hawaii. This is not a joke.
Well, they give them shirts.
They fly them to Hawaii.
One
Now
on
Hawaii is systemic homeless people. Is disgusting because nobody wants them.
Yeah.
Just put them up. Look, it would cost fuck all to make a small house like that and put them in a little small house and to keep them off the streets.
The trouble is, once you've fallen off the system, it's very hard to get
Back on the grid, yes.
Because if you don't, and I know HSBC are doing work around it, but probably not enough. If you don't have that address, you can't get, like for our line of work, you can't get an SIA license, you can't get a bank account, you can't get, you go to a job application, what's your address? No thanks about, sorry. You can't,
Yeah.
And you can't get a bank account, can't get a job, and then it's that vicious circle.
Yes.
And then that's when it translates into your line of work, where they go into the judicial system, and then they're in and out of prisons.
Yeah.
They're stealing to either feed their addictions or to live.
Yes, sir.
And then it's just it's a circle, man. And once they're in
It's
that,
sad, really. If I did it, if I could do it, I would. Out of the prison, there isn't anywhere for these people to go. There isn't like a halfway house. I would put them. I would have facilities to put them out of prison, straight in a halfway house. You must stay clean and sober for 90 days.
yeah,
You will get some ID.
yeah,
Right? You're in a 12-step program for 90 days. We'll help you get a job. You fuck up once, you're gone.
yeah.
Yeah? There's no probationary service that provides that for everybody. There's only, you have the NHS and then you have like a probationary place where they can like have a halfway house, which is less than 0.0000001%, yeah, where they should have it straight away. They go into a halfway house. They have 90 days clean and sober. They can help them get a job, housing, and all that stuff. Become a functional member of society. Nope, we just kick them back off the street.
Yeah, and then again.
Yeah, and then the system.
Just
Yes.
recycle.
Yes.
Wasting police resources, potentially NHS resources, definitely prison resources.
This has actually become fucking depressing, isn't it?
I
I know. I'm like, oh, I was gonna be all happy and joy, and I was gonna shoot the shit and talk about. I hate talking about myself now, man, because being an entertainer like that, I was the most arrogant motherfucker going.
We'll sort of change the subject slightly. I'll talk about how I met Steve here. So,
Where do we meet?
so we met.
Gay bar.
Big up DYMK in Bournemouth. So as most of you now know, events is my sort of, is what I enjoy the most, good act, etc. So I met Steve at an event in the pool at Upton. And it was
Sandfest.
So no, it was
How long
Upton
ago?
Country Show 2 years ago, I want to say.
Oh yeah, and it fucking went off, didn't it?
So what had happened, so I'm sure you're all aware of the TV show Hunted, I'm sure you remember this.
Motherfucker. Yes.
So
One love.
Yeah.
You fucking dickhead.
So there was a well-known 90s band named after a colour that they were playing, and one of them was on the TV show. Now, ironically, they weren't even on site, and they got chased out by the camera crews and the hunters, and they ran over one of the guys' foot, didn't they?
Yeah.
bloody hell, you can make it up, could you?
No. They got fucking rushed into this like. They got rushed into the. They got rushed into this fucking private car, sped off, and bless him, the guy at the gate, they ran over his fucking foot and broke his fucking foot. And I shouldn't laugh about that, but what a bunch of cocks.
Yeah. And then one of the production crews had to stay behind with the security guard, and I'm like, the security guard turned out to be an ex-copper. I'm like, well,
I would assume.
yeah, I think he did get a payout, but
Good.
I remember having to go and get all the. I was the one doing all these statements because the event was still going on.
Yeah.
So you then got drafted back in to run the event, and I'm going around taking all the statements and stuff like that. But
That
it was
was
such
so
a
much.
bizarre.
Oh.
It was a good event. But
I like the little local events like that. Me, I can't camp. I don't know how y'all do it. I can't lie in a fucking tent that's freezing at night on a ground mat, right? And trust me, I've tried. I just can't do it anymore. My bones and all that. I don't even, and if you don't know me, I'm the biggest metalhead you'll ever meet. Okay? I can't go to Download Festival because literally it is the worst fucking rain you'll ever get.
It's muddy.
Over the fucking,
even though Download's always in mid-July, it's always raining.
torrential, like
Yeah.
5-6 foot of fucking rain in mud.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore. I can't camp. I couldn't do like a lot of people. What do a lot of people do? They'll do the entire festival season.
Yeah.
I would do like a few years ago. I would do like 1 or 2 or help Pat out and meet some really cool guys, you know. And then you meet a lot of shirt fillers that just stand there and finger up their fucking ass that they've got their badge from a Cracker Jack box. You know, this is where this fucking industry needs to wind its neck in and stop chasing them. If the SIA stopped chasing the monkey, the money, it would be so much
this
better.
is the argument, or this is about having someone saying that with events, it's all about numbers. If you have X amount of people on site, you need X amount of security.
Yeah.
And I think there was a couple of other people that are high up within the industry that agree. If you halve the amount of security, pay double the money, but have better calibre, I think it'll be a lot safer.
Yeah, definite.
Yeah, they make sense.
Yeah, because there is no point in having people that, and I'm not slagging people off that can't do the job. I think there's a lot of training providers have got a lot of questions to answer. There's other factors.
Very questionable.
If people
like,
turn up to do a job, then fair enough. I'm not here to say that.
I am the least racial person you'll ever meet in your entire life, folks. And I'm not just saying
Being
that.
a Native American.
I'm Native peoples, yeah? Aho, you know? And I don't judge, but if you cannot master the fucking English language, yeah? For example, if I did the doors in Tenerife, okay? And I was working with this guy, I was doing the doors, Lineker's, for example, in Tenerife, okay? Everybody knows Lineker's.
Yeah.
Down in Veronica's. It's not there anymore, right? And I know it's like England with sun or something, but if you live at a place and you cannot habla Espanol, or you know, if you're that fucking ignorant, you think, oh, I'm going to live in Vienna, I'm not going to learn how to speak Österreich, yeah, or Austria, yeah. I'm not going to learn how to speak French. I'm not going to, if I'm going to like work in the French Alps, or you know, I find that really ignorant. So I think the other way around as well. You know, if you want to come to somewhere, learn the fucking language, yeah, all right. Especially in an industry where you need to learn to speak to people, yeah. And don't get your badge out of a Cracker Jack box, because if it does, heaven forbid, if it does for these youngsters, if it does kick off, and they have no experience, they're gonna get fucked up.
If you can't communicate down the radio or with your colleague, you're putting yourself in, as well as other people. You're putting yourself in there.
Yeah, but it's like you know, I've been HD of loads of venues, right? And I've had guys, you ask them to do a radio check and they're examining the radio. What's all that about? You know, what they do, I thought they're going to take it all apart and like put it all back together again. It's simple things like that, and this is the problem. You know, there's a lot of people who are coming into the industry, and especially with this upskill thing, how the hell do some of them pass it? And
Well,
that's
I've never had to do that upskill thing.
Podcast in
yeah,
itself, I think.
you know.
And my badge runs out in January, but I don't have to do an upskill. Yeah. That's Oops. Well, you're gonna fucking edit that out, aren't they?
We're gonna get cancelled already.
Special fucking needs, I am. I just want to bring up one more thing, just for us gentlemen, okay? Guys, this is something close to my heart. Men's mental health. It's very, very close to my heart. All right, I think we'll end it with this if you want. Gentlemen, if you are suffering, all right? If you are suffering, if you are in a fucking dark place, all right? I am a huge advocate of men's mental health. I get in dark fucking places. We all do, all right? Don't end up like Chester Bennington or Robin Williams and fucking topping yourself. Just talk to somebody. All right. So I would like to say this podcast has been sponsored by Men's Mental Health. All right.
Well, obviously, people that know me well know what I went through a couple of years ago. Not going to go into details.
No, we don't.
But to echo what Steve says, there are options available, whether that's friends or whether that's family. Now, I know sometimes it's hard to open up to people you know, which I get. So, but you have other options, things like Samaritans. You know.
Andy's Man Club, which is on. They do it. It's personal. It's not. Andy's Man Club. It's just about a bunch of guys that sit around and talk. They started it because this gentleman named Andy, he committed suicide, and they were like really. So it's called Andy's Man Club. I'm sure they'll hashtag it at the bottom. There's pretty much one in every single major city, and they do it on a Monday. All right, and I ain't afraid to fucking man up and say I sometimes I need help, man. Yeah.
I think that's a lovely way to end.
Yeah. No, it's a great way. Sorry, I'm not all flighty and shit like that, but I've gotten to a point in my life where I fucking hate talking about myself.
Yeah.
Because like with Rich Piana, yeah, I was with him for years, you know, and he was famous. You know, I've done loads of famous fucking shit. You know, I could be, like, I was Judge Dunn and Judge Dredd, and you know what I'm saying? You know, who I used to date and all that other stuff. It's bullshit, all right? That's in the past, but I wouldn't change that because of the
Pinch point.
pinch
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
That's the word of the day, pinch point. I like that very, very much. Fuck.
So-
I like that. I'm gonna sit and watch a fucking movie, and I'm gonna go, oh, that's the pinch point.
So, Mr. Garner, if you ever watch the podcast, you taught me something that lives for me to this day. Gentlemen,
Absolute pleasure, guys. No, thank you,
Nice.
thank you. Look, this is how you shake fucking hands, motherfucker. This is how you shake hands, yeah. Not like that. Like this. This is how security. This is like the Masons. This is a security handshake. Put your finger out like that. All right.
I can't possibly comment, but guys, thank you for watching. Even if you watched part of it, we appreciate it. We are trying to see if we get some
Thank
momentum.
you, guys. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Nice
All right.
to meet you.
And we'll see you on the next one. Good night.
All right.
Night.
Have a good one. Push.